So what the hell are we doing today?
Well, we're back in Lavender Town, so what are we doing?
I'm guessing I'm looking for traitors I didn't fight. I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember some of these last
joke
episodes.
about them defiling the grave.
Yeah, I should have done that. God damn it.
the radio tower.
Should have gone back.
It's like, oh, we still have the graveyard. It's just a fraction of the size it was before. We need to make room for this radio tower. Technology is moving forward, after all.
I should have gone back to visit Gen 1 Rivals Radicate. Piss on that grave.
Yeah, which I think some of the gravestones actually got moved into Mr. Fuji's house, which I don't remember if he showed or not.
I think so. We probably glazed over it, but you know, I barely. Sometimes not paying attention is literally just going around battling everybody. But yep, so far we have 6 gyms conquered. I think we're gonna start making our way to Cinnabar this episode. It's either this or the next.
Okay, so we get to fight the crazy scientist.
Yes, wherever he may be.
Yay.
Yeah, I think I'm just doing trainer cleanup before that. That's what's happening. Because we've done pretty much everything else.
Yep.
Koji was there with us last time we got the TIE Rogue. And, well,
Yep.
pretty much since then we just gone through Diglett Cave, went to Pewter City, and got the gym badge there. Also went to, visited Viridian
We went to Viridian, but
Pallet Town. We went to Viridian City and
which we
visited
can't find
Pallet Town.
Yep, which Viridian State, we can't fight the gym leader yet, so...
Yep, and we decided that...
Because they're not there.
And we decided the trainer who, his mom is looking for him, we decided he's a nomad now.
Awesome.
But yeah, I was gonna say, like, last time I did bring up the fact that Sony had their State of Play thing. I'm so glad they showed everyone in the world just what third-party gaming has to offer for us this year.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
That was where the Metal Gear Solid stuff came up last time. And I think one of the
things that... you go first, Art.
I was gonna say, one of the things we brought up was, like, they're kind of gonna lose the significance of the Psycho Mantis fight in the re-released versions, because they're not gonna be able to read the data off your memory, probably.
Yeah.
So they won't mention Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or Suikoden, or Valiant Hearts, or whatever the last one was. Imagine they mentioned 3D All-Stars of the Switch version because of Sunshine being in there. Like, wait, what? This isn't even Twin Snakes!
Or, no, it's now it's gonna be freaking, Metal Gear Survive as a meme.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they really do.
This game, you're a sad, sad man.
You really wanted this
Don't you have
series
any
to survive,
standards?
didn't you? God damn it!
Yeah, they really would have to rework the Psycho Mantis stuff for the first game.
Yeah, that will definitely lose its
they
impact. Oh, we'll have to see how that goes when it comes out. But yeah, I was also trying to talk to Coda about, don't you love some of the amazing games we've gotten recently, like Forspoken, and Redfall, and Gollum? We're truly at the pinnacle of gaming right now. Oh.
I heard about Gollum.
I
knew
it was going to be bad as soon as I first heard about it, but oh my god, apparently it's just a broken mess. It's another one of those games that's going to be up for fucking worst game of the year.
Yeah, it doesn't help that it was released as a full, retail game as well, so it kind of deserves to sort of spearheaded like that.
It's short, it's broken, it's not fun. It's just exactly what I love from all AAA gaming.
Short, broken. I don't mind the short part, but the fact that it's broken on release and full price, so that we can take advantage of every poor sap who's stupid enough to not realize that maybe we're screwing you over, Kappa.
Yeah, and then we have friggin' Game Freak, who can't seem to fix Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but have also said they're collaborating with another developer to work on their first true AAA title. Wait, you mean Pokemon hasn't been AAA this whole time?
Yeah, I mean, this is something I feel like was an ongoing problem for, like, over a decade at this point. where a lot of companies feel like they can just release something that's a broken mess just based off and make a ton of money just based off of the name of certain franchises alone, and it just bothers me a lot.
And fix it
That's
later.
not. It's not even just like the IP itself, because sometimes you can just get games that are brand new or quote unquote like original, and they still release like a broken mess.
Yep, release it now,
yeah.
fix it later.
I feel it's much. I think it's much more of an impact when it's something that's based off of an existing IP and a big name. When
It
that
is more.
kind of
Yeah,
stuff
I
happens.
mean, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one, but I'm just saying it also shows up on the original stuff as well. And this is something that's universal on the AAA landscape. It feels
Yeah,
it's frustrating to say the least.
yeah, and I feel like that's been a problem since the release of like the 360 and PS3, because it's like, oh well, we can just can just update the game to patch it out like later.
Yep.
Like,
The advent of DLC, it has its benefits, but it also has its drawbacks because it sort of gives off the peace of mind thing of not releasing your game at full release. Like, it's one thing to do it when your game isn't full price and all that, like if you're a AA or a single A developer, because, you know, alright, like, maybe you didn't get your chance to go off the best foot because you don't have, like, the resources or whatever to work with. I can give you that mercy, but when you're a AAA developer and you still release a game that's broken, it's like, you shouldn't get the mercy. There should be, like, a sort of thing where, no, because, like, when people, like, have stuff like, say, a broken movie or like, a broken piece of electronic, like, everyone will cry out. But when it comes to, like, video games being released broken, it's like, okay, well, whatever.
At least nowadays, because they can be fixed. Unlike the old days where you had something like Bubsy 3D, that's a broken mess forever. It's going to be a laughingstock to everybody forever.
unless they re-release the game as like later on and actually fix problems, like, because I know, I mean, that's why there was a common joke with Street Fighter 2 of how often that's been like remade and reported and like so many different versions of Street Fighter 2. It's because, well, if you think about it, DLC was not a thing back then. So the only way to update the only way to really update the game was to basically create a whole new version of the same game.
Right. Yep. Sometimes with little changes, sometimes with vast changes.
Yeah.
Remake Bubsy 3D! Come on, bitches, do it!
I swear to God, if that ever happens, MJ, I'm going to personally go to your house.
Could it be any worse? Like, seriously, could it be any worse?
Oh my God.
Remake Superman 64!
You know, you say it as a joke, but that is actually something that's actually a legitimate thing about remakes that could probably be brought up in the conversation, is why not remake games that have promise but just fell short?
I've been thinking of some videos to record for my channel lately. This is like, we see all these remakes of like really good games that some of them have aged well. It's like, why do you guys just take a game that initially like sucked and try to rebrand it and make it something good?
I think I was watching a video on talking about Project 06, and it actually did show that Sonic 06 could have actually been a really good game. It's just it didn't get the time needed to really get fleshed out.
That's like the poster child game for, if we could remake this game and we were pretty faithful to it, but got rid of all the bugs, imagine how much it could have improved.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen Project 06 and all the releases of said campaigns? They look amazing. Like, they actually look like a dream.
Yeah, because the original Sonic 06, I'm sure it's pretty much beating a skeleton of a dead horse at this point, with how bad that game has been.
Like, everyone beats the horse about how bad the game was, but no one ever talks about whether or not the game has potential to be great.
I knew it did.
And it did.
It didn't even come.
It was
broken in so many ways.
There was just a lot of behind-the-scenes bullshit that kind of prevented that from happening.
Another game, Sonic game was being developed, and fucking they wanted to get that game out to celebrate the 15-year anniversary and all that shit.
Yeah, it's just like anything that could go wrong basically did go wrong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and in all honesty, for our viewers, if you want to know a lot more about stuff and other certain games as to like figure out, okay, what the hell happened with this. I recommend Mac and Muscle's What Happened series.
Right.
Shameless, shout out to him.
Right.
And if you want, I can also recommend Jay's reviews as well if you want to hear more of the story about Project 06. Because he went through a lot of the game as well. So he went through most of the he's been playing religiously, so he has a couple of reviews talking about how Project 06 basically shows what could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know
the actual name of the developers that actually went out of their way to do it, but he goes into detail about them as well.
That's nice.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, yep, go ahead, take your call. I was saying, I was like, good thing they pushed Sonic Frontiers back another year, because remember, they originally wanted that to come out in 2021 for the 30-year anniversary. Well, they decided to not make another Sonic 06. I'm now curious what it could have been. Oh, God. An open-world Sonic game that could have been an absolute broken mess compared to what it is.
Yeah, I mean, let's be grateful that we got
it's still broken, but at least the one we have is still somewhat broken, but at least it's playable and fun. If we got the version of a year ago, I'm scared for what that could have been. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Oh, God, hi, Slow King. By the way, a new trade evolution for fucking Slowpoke. Give Slowpoke a King's Rock and trade it, you got fucking Slow King here.
Oh, my head!
I think it's a little faster than Slow Bro. I don't know if I think its defenses might be lower. But yeah, there you go, new alternate evolution. Fun stuff. Oh yeah, I'll say, I do miss the days when teams would polish their games to make them work well in release. Like, apparently there's a rumor for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that apparently the game might have actually been done over a year ago. But they were spending the last year just playing the game and polishing it.
I mean, that's another thing that actually I wanted to talk about with what games that I'm kind of also getting sick of when it comes to AAA games. The remakes is one thing. I'm a little bit more merciful on that front, but one thing I'm kind of sick of is just the open world game being the one that's usually marketed the most.
I will still say that Zelda has done it better than a lot of the others have. And, well, I don't hate what I've played of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm fine with it, but, you know, I still prefer the older ones. If this is all Zelda's going to be, I'd probably dip out after a while, but I don't hate they at least tried to change a bit from being the same formula.
I know the change is necessary, I get.
I just, it's
sometimes
like,
I
don't want the old formula to completely go away. That's more what I'm
Yeah.
Like, you can keep the old formula too, have some smaller scale games.
It's kind of frustrating because you get one side that is like, oh, we want change or whatever, and you get another side that's just like, we want things to stay the same, and it's just like, what's the right thing?
We can try to do a blend between the two, or how about this? Have something like Breath of the Wild but on a smaller scale. It doesn't have to be fucking humongous.
Right,
it can be like a small scale open world like the likes of like Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Like, they don't all have to be a massive world you can spend over 100 hours exploring. It could be like a world you can spend like 30 hours exploring and have to go through things your own way. Kind of like what the Pokémon game
I can use an example like Yakuza.
Yeah.
Where the world is... You can still spend hundreds of hours in it, but the thing about that game that makes it really good is that because of how close everything is, everything's around the corner, it makes it kind of feel more alive, which is why I praise the design of something like a lot of the Yakuza games.
Yep.
Because it feels alive without having it need to be this massive space. It's like, I don't care about where I can travel. It's like, I can travel there. I don't fucking care. Is there anything of value there? No. And why does it even exist?
Yeah, that's the problem with open world games. They try to feel real, so they have a lot of open, empty space so you can wander around and look at everything. But if you're doing that for like minutes at a time, it's just like, is something gonna happen, or am I just literally just walking? Am I literally just traveling the world and that's it? Like, I guess some people like that sort of thing, like the whole feeling of mystery, feel like they're getting lost in a world, but I like having things to do. It's not much of a game if I'm literally just going on a tour.
Yeah. I guess one example of open world that's big that I also like exploring would be something like Spider-Man. Because of how you can explore. Exploring it doesn't take forever. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind a big open world if the character I'm playing as makes exploring the world fun and feel like it goes by fast. Like, if you give me like a Grand Theft Auto, I'm gonna hate it because I'm playing as a red-ass guy trying to travel along this giant open space. That ain't fun to me, I'm sorry.
Oh, like that game, what is it, Days Gone? The one Sony exclusive is basically a zombie game where you're a dude riding a fucking motorcycle everywhere. It's basically like poor man's Last of Us.
Yeah.
But it's open world instead of
traveling the world
linear.
Like Spider-Man is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because you move by so quickly. Or Batman in Arkham City. I'm playing through Arkham City right now. And when you get the, I think it's the grapnel boost, it's so much fun just being able to just use the grapnel boost to just yeet your way across chunks of Arkham.
Man, I really need to play those games. I really do. I'll say, do they have an Arkham
I've only played
collection
Arkham
or
Asylum.
no?
They don't have an Arkham collection, but the games usually go on sale, at least on Steam. I don't know how it is for,
The consoles? I probably could get them all on Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know how it is for
fairness.
consoles.
At the very least, Asylum and City I definitely want to try out. I know Origins is a mixed bag, and I've heard Night is good too.
Night has the best gameplay, depending on who you... in terms of gameplay, a lot of people say Night is the best. In terms of story, it kind of does.
Some people are mixing the car stuff, and apparently the PC release was initially broken, if I remember.
Yeah. The PC, at the least, has the mercy of, going on sale, so it's like, well, at least I'm not paying $60 for a game that was half-assed on release.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of give it a little bit more mercy, I guess.
Yeah. That's definitely another set of superhero games, along with the Spider-Man ones I definitely want to play. I'm still more curious about how that frickin' X-Men or Wolverine game from Insomniac Games is coming along.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what they're going to do for the focus.
I'm hoping it's just not going to be like the Spider-Man games, but a different character. I'm hoping they make it like a little different, like take a different approach to it.
I would like to see it. The problem is, it's already technically been done. If you've played or heard of X-Men Origins Wolverine, where they just make it very linear.
That game was decent, right?
That game was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was
way better than the movie.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember. I thought there was one that was like, there was a movie that was bad and the game was somehow worse. Alright, I'm glad it wasn't that. Good, good.
No, that's the exact opposite.
I'll say, hopefully if they were going to do a Wolverine game, maybe they try to take a Ratchet and Clank approach to it in regards to, like, level design and, like, enemy fighting and stuff.
For which one? Wolverine?
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of wonder how that would work, because, like, when I think of Wolverine, the only option I can think of that works very well is the, X-Men Origins did it pretty well, just because it's the kind of character that, Wolverine is. It just works. If it was X-Men, I could definitely say there's a different sort of approach that would work a little bit better, but for Wolverine himself, I feel like it would need a more linear approach.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because of the style of character he is.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Open world would not make sense. And again, I do trust Insomniac, so I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like the only
I'm curious to see what they're doing.
Absolute faith in.
Yeah. I do have faith in Sucker Punch. I'm not going to sit here and deny them. It's just...
Yeah.
I guess I just want to see what they're up to.
They have been doing a lot of open world games, I remember, ever since friggin' Infamous.
Yeah.
Then again, were any of the Sly Cooper games open world, or not really? Maybe like more like secluded worlds? Oh, I have no idea. Oh, then again, I guess you wouldn't really know per se either.
I mean, I've seen them in action. I would say... Sorta, kinda. When we get to 2, you'll understand what I mean.
Maybe it's more like the open zone concept of Sonic Frontiers. Okay.
Like I said, when we get to playing Sly Cooper 2, you'll see.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I know the Infamous games they've been doing have been open world. Man, that's another series that's basically forgotten in the Sony realm.
You know, that is actually something that I was also watching another video from as well, which was talking about, just the idea of letting certain IPs rest.
Yeah.
because that is actually a legitimate thing to talk about, where I'm going to use Naughty Dog as an example for this, because when they were doing the Uncharted games,
Yep.
or so many people wanted to, and this myself included back when I was younger, wanted to see more of Jack, because, Ratchet and Clank still had more games going for it, but Jack didn't. But they basically said that they were essentially done with
Done with the series, and
everyone. They were done with Jack after Jack X, and they were going to move on to something else, and that was Uncharted.
Yeah.
And then after Uncharted 4 or Golden Abyss was done, I think it was Golden Abyss. That was the last one I want to say. But after Golden Abyss was done, they were like, "Okay, we're done."
I think they did Golden Abyss after 3, and then was 4.
There was another one afterwards. Okay, Lost Legacy, I think, was the one I'm thinking of.
That was like the DLC thing for, the side story thing from 4, I think.
Yeah, think of it as the Miles Morales to Spider-Man.
Yeah. Basically that, yeah. I was saying, I'm glad they didn't end on 3. It sounds like 3 ended very poorly. It's like, okay,
3 has a lot of,
I just remember the ending really threw some people off. We're like, wait, what?
Yeah, 3's, overall story is kind of all over the place, which is the reason why that one's kind of seen as the lesser of the games.
Yeah, I know the gameplay is fairly still pretty good, though. I imagine it's very similar to 2.
There's, like, small, consistent improvements that usually happen with the Uncharted games. So, in terms of gameplay, it definitely does take a step up.
Well, then
it's small changes, but it's enough for it to be noticeable.
It sounds like they do that with all their games, pretty much. You said the best gameplay in the Jack series is probably 3, right?
Yeah.
At least they're really good if they continue the series. They do make consistent improvements.
Yeah, in terms of gameplay, they're very good at making consistent improvements.
Yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of their cinematic approach to the way their games are done, but their actual gameplay, I will say, is very solid.
Yeah, because, like, they had their... Yeah, because with Jack, they did the 4 games, and then after that, they were done, and then they moved on to Uncharted, and then after Uncharted, I think Lost Legacy was the last one they were done. And then they moved on, well, Last of Us was during Uncharted 3, which is part of the reason why Uncharted 3 felt as stilted as it was.
Yep.
Because that was also during the time of The Last of Us.
Yep.
But afterwards, it's like, we're done, so we just want to move on to something else, which is something that, a lot of people want to complain that we want more of these series, but sometimes there is the thing that certain devs don't have the capacity to carry on the series, and probably are better off just moving on to other things.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, look at Sanzar Games, like, they probably maybe didn't want to do a Sly Cooper game, but maybe because there was so much demand for it, they kind of just bent at the will and had to do it, and as a result, Sly 4 kind of turned out the way it did.
And it did Jack 4 as well, right? Or that, whatever that
They
other...
did, the racing game, they did.
Oh, I thought people apparently all decently liked that one. Oh, was it different?
They
did that, 4th Jack game?
It was a different game. It was a different company that did,
Oh, that wasn't
the 4th game.
Sanzaru. Okay. Oh.
It was Ready at Dawn, I think it was. They did 2 games. They did the Daxter game, which honestly wasn't that bad. I'll stand by that game being good. And then they also did Lost Frontier, which,
That was it.
yeah.
The less said about that, the better.
The one people don't like.
Probably a decent game
Yeah,
on its own, but tarnished the legacy of the series in a way.
I think it's a little bit worse than that.
Okay, so, like, subpar. Got it.
Subpar. Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, well...
Not terrible,
You're getting
but
a developer...
definitely not one you'd want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta love when they go that route. Thank God they didn't get their hands on fucking Ratchet and Clank.
Well,
Did they do the Clank spinoff?
I want to say they did. And the Clank spinoff is... I didn't even finish the game, that's how much I liked it. It was boring.
Oh, that was made by High Impact Games. Okay, so that wasn't Sanzaru. Alright, well, there you go. High Impact. There you go.
It's also on the PSP, so they just got some random developers and just like, here, we'll give this license to you, even though you probably have no idea what makes the games tick.
At least they tried to make games for that, unlike the Vita. The Vita, they had... What do they have? They had a frickin'... They had a Uncharted game at launch was actually somewhat decent. They had a Killzone game that was not good. I feel like that was it from their first-party efforts. Because everything else was third-party developers doing RPGs or their own games.
And the thing was, with a lot of the games, it did well in Japan, but the thing was, we never really got to see any of those games, so as a result, we just get kind of the scraps in a certain way.
Oh my god, that just reminded me of another thing of the Sony conference. So, you like how basically Sony has now announced they have their own Wii U gamepad?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't get what the audience is for this one. It's tied to your fucking console on the internet. Like,
the concept of it is just... I just like the concept of the console because it's not even like a portable thing that you can really use. It's like you still need Wi-Fi, so you're limited in a certain way. And it's just like, well, if I'm at home, why not just let myself just play AC or something like that? It's not like I can play this forever.
It's a tablet controller. It's fucking a Wii U gamepad that you can stream your game through. It's better than the Wii U gamepad, but it's also not really worth buying on its own. Like, what the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yep, I could see very little use of that. I remember when I was hearing frickin' there was a new Sony handheld, and I started hearing it was more like a fucking, like, streaming device or a controller before it got announced. I was just like, oh boy, this isn't gonna be good, is it? Not as
it's only in one way.
Not good either.
So basically, the Sony Wii U.
Yeah. You heard about that, right? They're basically streaming controller. Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically like a Switch, but it operates like a Wii U gamepad. And all it can do is remote play. It can't do, like... You can't, like, take games on the go with you with it, without Wi-Fi, I think. And,
yeah.
It's more a controller that's it's a streaming device more than anything. Which you can use a phone for a streaming device, which PS5 can do anyway. So... Who's the target audience for this? The blind Sony fanboys that'll buy every Sony product? That's the only audience I can think of that would need something like this. Either that, or you don't have a good phone. If you really care about game streaming that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Streaming's always been sort of in this weird state where it sounds good in concept, but in practice it always seems to just...
The technology behind it is not
just
there.
Seems to
it's too internet dependent. And because the fucking US likes to limit internet shit, well, there's only so much we can do with it.
It's just basically a giant paperweight at that point.
Yup. Oh, poor Wii U gamepad. At least that had unique functionalities for the games you could use it on, but...
It wasn't purely for streaming, though, was it?
The gamepad?
That's just more on Nintendo for it being...
It was basically like a console DS, when you think about it. It was basically like having a detachable touchscreen.
Yeah, because that was more on, whatchamacallit.
It was a good idea, it's just, the marketing was bad.
Nintendo just didn't really market it well.
Yeah.
It didn't help also that, I guess because of the way the optimization for it was, it just wasn't friendly to third-party developers, so they just all bailed for the most part.
Also that, yeah. I'm sure programming for it was probably a bit of a nightmare. We didn't really have a true...
The 3DS that was still active, so...
Yeah, we didn't have a true Mario, Zelda, or Metroid game for it at all. We don't really count Breath of the Wild, because people more see that as Switch at this point. Oh, 3D World.
What about, whatchamacallit?
I was gonna say 3D World. We originally had that.
3D World.
My bad. I guess I meant more like large scale, like Galaxy or Odyssey. Excuse me.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, we should probably end this episode here. So we took care of all the fucking traders on the route back to Fuchsia City, which we do have this badge, so we don't need to worry about this. Now, next time, we're
Yep.
going to go to Cinnabar. Or at least what it is now. You guys will understand next time. So see you then.